to everybody. I know it's been a long time since you've seen these two on screen together, Marcus and Kia. I know you guys saw us last week when we did our special edition live in-person recording down at El Jefe, which you guys missed, but that's okay. You can join us on the next in-person event, okay? I'm stuttering over my words. I'm gonna picked up on Marcus a little bit, ain't I, y'all?
Yeah. I'm gonna start doing poetry next.
So look, y'all, we are excited. We are elated about tonight's conversation. First, I'm going to tell you one of the reasons I'm excited. People be talking about, and I've said it before, sometimes social media be social media. It be doing the most. But I'm going to tell you about a time when social media worked. I met this sister on TikTok. She is who I call my TikTok bestie, and we're going to meet in person, and eventually we're going to be besties for real. When I tell you I love her spirit, I love everything about her, and I'm excited to have a conversation with her and Andy about long-term relationships with no ring. So we're going to, without further ado, we're going to bring them in to have this conversation. As you see, Marcus isn't with me tonight. He's traveling, so we're in different locations, but we in this thing together. All right, babe, you want to bring in our guests, Helena and Andy? What up, peeps? What up, doing? Andy? I feel like I know you.
How you doing?
Can you see us?
Yeah, I see y'all.
Okay. Oh, I wasn't looking up. I was looking at there.
Closer. Hey, how y'all doing?
You might have to turn your camera, friend.
Like to the side. Okay, so we can turn it the other way. Yeah, let me fix it right quick. Okay. There we go.
Uh-oh, now y'all sideways.
Oh, you're gonna have to change my orientation, I think.
All right, let's try something. Let's maybe try something.
Is this? Should I do it like that? And then...
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on.
Is it gonna?
Yeah.
Okay. First, we know how to do this thing now. Come on now.
Okay.
Hey, I'm with you, Andy. Take control. Handle that.
Hey. How y'all doing?
Good. How y'all doing?
We're doing good, man. Thank you for having us. Man. Thank you for having us.
Of course. Look, I've been waiting for this. We've been counting down the days for this conversation, mainly because we get the question, when y'all get married? And so I wanted to hear from people who've been together longer than Marcus and I have been together.
Okay.
So the first question is, why is it even necessary to get married? Like, that's a question that I think I want to start with. Why is it necessary to get married? Do you guys want to enlighten us on that?
Well, I think let's speak on the terms of long-term. When you talk about if something happens, we hear about those stories all the time about, people dying off. You didn't take care of your paperwork, and now you fighting an ex-wife that you never got divorced from for some money when you've been there for the last 15 years. We heard the stories. I think that is one of the main reasons why it's important to get married. Other than that, I mean, yeah, that's my reasoning. I'm gonna let Andy give his reasoning for wanting to get married.
It's obviously that's not a easy question to just. There's no cookie cutter answer for that question. For me personally, though, I was I'm a spiritual person. I'm not trying to take it on that level, but I was raised spiritual. I believe in God. That's it. So I just feel like, that is when you get married, it's like making a commitment not only with your partner, but with God as well. Saying that, hey, I'm going to take care of this person. I'm going to be with this person for the rest of our life, and you ask God to bless that marriage. So, that's why I think it's important. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead, babe, because you look like you got something you want to say.
No, I mean, I follow along with him. You know, one, he's like me, strong man of few words, man of action. I can tell. You know, I'm gonna do this, and this is how I'm gonna get my point across. So when you say spiritually, that's where I saw a connection. Like, yeah, I can make a spiritual connection with this woman in the eyes of God with just me, her, and God, and that's all that's needed.
And which
It's
there.
like when we speak to God, sometimes we speak alone. And I like, God, this is who I'm choosing to be my special person, my partner. I don't need everything else. I will do my full power to take care of her. And that's from me to you and from me to her. So that's what I'm getting out, what he was saying.
Yeah, that's powerful. When I was doing a little bit of research on this, I came across the term de facto marriage, right?
Okay.
It's becoming a more commonly known term just as a substitute for conventional marriage. So people are just staying together. They're not doing the contract thing by going to get the marriage certificate, having the big party and the reception and all of that comes with it, right? I wonder if do you believe that marriage has become a business opportunity for a lot of other people, like wedding planners, like the buildings that host marriages? Do you think it's more about that, or is that not even a factor at all? But do you consider that, when people are getting married, this is a whole business. You paying 6 or 7 people.
Yeah.
And I have been one of those people paid to film. I'm a director, so I film weddings and stuff. So, but I think that it's the popular thing now lately to say that, oh, marriage is a business. It is. It is. But I think everybody's situation is different. Some people marry because it's like, hey, financially, this is going to work, or hey, we already have children, we might as well just get married. Everybody's situation is different. Some people get married purely off love. I love you so much, let's get married in 3 months. You know what I mean? So it's just it's different for every situation. But I to answer your question, I just think it's kind of popular now for people to say, oh, marriage is a business. Oh, marriage ain't about love. It's a business. Everybody's saying that now. So that's the new spicy thing to say now. But is there any truth to that? Yes, there's a little bit of truth to that. I don't think that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
I do think it's a big part of, the business. Finances and stuff is a big part of marriage, but I don't think that's what it's all about.
I think it depends on, like, we see the sheer sevens, and we see the women on this side that say, date and marry for money, and then you got the women over here like, I want to be in love, or whatever the case may be. It is a case by case situation, and only you can ask yourself that question, like, why do you want to get married? I had to ask myself that question a lot of times, like, why do I really want to get married? Do I want to get married because society says I should get married? Why do I want to have a time limit? Like, what does it say? Like, and just going through all the things. So I think personally, you need to ask yourself, why do you want to get married? I do feel marriage is the highest form of commitment that you can give somebody. I do think it should be out of love, because even though we know what marriage came from, the history of marriage, but now that we know better, just like we take things and we make it positive, maybe it should be about, if we're getting married, is the highest form of commitment, and we are making this commitment to continue this journey with each other. So that's my thoughts on it.
Thanks for sharing that. I mean, I love those responses, and I love the fact that So one of the things that is popular now is all the different relationship podcasts, right? And you get so many different pieces of information from all of them, right? From the left to the right to all anything in between. And so one of the things I saw when I was reading an article was relationship experts and gurus, that have popped up over the years. Their opinion is that dating over 3 years is too long to date somebody. You need to be married in 3 years. That is the standard relationship guru expert advice out there. Here's my thing on that. And and of course I want to hear your take, but this is my personal opinion. My personal opinion is that people do what they want to do when they want to do it. And anybody else's suggestions or thoughts or opinions don't really matter. You do what makes sense for you and your partner. It's very easy for people to kind of jump in and say, you need to get married right now, right? Because maybe that's how you did it 40 years ago. Maybe that's how you did it 20 years ago. But I think that sometimes we probably should mind our own business. I think sometimes that'll do us some good because we don't know everybody's situation.
Right.
So we should probably just mind our business. But what are your thoughts about that? Have you encountered people that are asking you intrusive questions like that? And I don't think everybody means to be intrusive. Let me say that. I think some people are saying it from a truly caring place. And they don't intend to come off as being intrusive. That's just how they think, and that's their thought process. So what are your thoughts about that?
Well, I definitely think from a woman's perspective, and we've talked about that women are more interested in you talking about your relationship and asking you questions about your relationship, questions that they would never, ask your partner, especially if he's a man, because what they do is they just watch and see how he treats you and make sure your words kind of like match up to what you're saying. And that's what women do. It's subliminal. They might not say that, but that's what they're doing. And we do that. I think it's different for him because his family asks, like, hey, his cousins and they don't make a point to not shy away from the question. So I thought that was cute and different because again, I'm dealing with he's Haitian American, so I'm not dealing with my if I can say my boyfriends in the past. We all know sometimes the trauma and the things that they're dealing with. So to have the family support before support is needed is interesting. Is very loving. It's different. But yeah, man. So just my friends and random strangers, they have no problem asking me that question. I don't think he gets it as much as I've gotten it.
So to go to what you were saying. Some people ask from a genuinely good place. Like she just mentioned, I have family members. I have an aunt that she's really close with. You need to get a ring. When are you going to put, or she's asked me before it got too intense. She's asked me, when you going to marry her? Like, she's asking from a genuine place.
Yeah.
She really loves me. She's known me all my life and she wants to see me married with somebody together, committed with one person, not jumping from women to women. She may want to see me with children. You know what I mean? Now, there are other people who may have, Helena might have been talking to him and how long you been with your man? Oh, 8, 9 years. Oh, y'all ain't married? Couldn't be me. But she's single. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
The thing is, with these relationship gurus, now we're getting bombarded by it, right? We can't avoid it. We see it, we scroll and we see it. First thing is, me, I'm a type of person, I don't believe, nothing. I don't believe nothing what I hear and half of what I see. So I'm seeing all these gurus talk. You can ask her. She has all the relationship stuff on her algorithm. You know what I'm saying? She got all the relationship on. So I'm listening and I'm like, first thing these people have to ask themselves that they don't ask, who is the information coming from? Right?
Yeah.
So these people on the podcast, everybody's talking. How many times have these podcast people, and then boom, we find out domestic violence. We find out they're cheaters.
Yeah,
Derek Jackson.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Who are we getting this information from? Why are we believing you? Why are we? So now we got women and men who aren't married telling people how to be in a successful marriage, how to get married, how to. One thing I respect about the sprinkle girl, she's married. She's telling y'all like, yeah, this is how I got my man. He did this. He's this. That. However she got him, whatever.
Her.
Like she got her man
That's
though.
her story.
So I feel like she can tell you how. If you want to get a man like the way she did to get, you listen to her. But I'm not gonna listen to somebody. I'm not gonna take advice. Hey, what should I do? I want to get married. I'm not gonna take that advice from somebody who's not married. You know what I mean? So these people on the podcast and stuff, these girls who's asking her, when y'all gonna get married? They're not married. They're not in relationships. Most of them, like 8 out of 10. You know what I mean? So what are we really talking about? You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's media. Media.
Yeah.
They got.
It froze up for a second. It's almost like getting nutritional advice from somebody who's 300 pounds. It just don't work. So I understand what he's saying, and it sounds like he goes back to what he was saying earlier. It's everything's not cookie cutter.
Yeah.
No.
You want to address some of these comments as they go out and come back in?
Yeah. Let's do it.
So one of the comments here is, I feel that the time frame towards making the leap is based upon other people's standards. Agreed. I think overall we tend to care a lot about what other people think and about what other people's opinions are. I just think overall people tend to give too much credit to what other people's timeline of their story is, right? And
For
so
sure.
I think that's one of the things that can kind of merge into that decision is, what is that person doing? What is that person saying? Right? Rather than looking at your specific relationship and only focus on that. So what's another comment that we need to address, babe?
All right, I'm bringing them up.
So we got a comment here that says, I think as we get older and if you've been married before, your whys change. Your why isn't solely based on love.
Yeah.
Now let's ask why. Why is it not solely based off love after the first marriage?
Or while you're in it.
I can answer that question. Because think about it. When you're younger, you think love. Remember that whole fairy tale? Love conquers all. Love don't conquer broke.
No.
It don't. Love don't conquer bills. Love don't conquer hard times.
Yeah.
I could. So the person you love, the wise like I could love you, but we may not be good to live with each other. We may not be good in this way. We may not be compatible. And what is love? Maybe our definition of what love it really is changes from that first time around to this final time around.
And maybe we are afraid to say that love is conditional as humans. It's hard to really have what they call that agape love. That's a discipline, and that's a thing you have to practice every day. So I think it's a little bit of that too. We're afraid to say that sometimes, or as humans, we are conditional when it comes to our love and, what factors play a role. I also think that constant communication is, what keeps things going same track, or even if y'all not on the same page, y'all understanding what's happening, what's going on. So of course, those check-ins are important, but yeah.
That's good, friend. I think I want to kind of sit there a little bit when you said, I think that we don't want to acknowledge that love is conditional. I think that's important because I think a lot of people don't want to say that.
No,
right?
they don't want to say it out loud.
Yeah,
but
it's
we see it all the time. We see situations all the time. If we look at, just what we've had examples of, whether it was our mom, aunts, cousins, and we look at the situations like, man, and just people's stories you hear. I mean, we see all the time. So,
well, my own personal story. I've been married twice, right?
Okay.
And so just from a transparent place,
okay,
it got to a place where I was like, oh yeah, I don't like you no more, right? And that was enough for me to be like, but I had to heal, and I had to grow, and I had to evolve, from that mindset. Yeah. So I think just honoring the fact that, okay, I may have had some flaws in the past, and this is how I perceived marriage, and this is how I walked into marriage, and now I have to do some work so that I see it very differently before I do that again, right? Okay. Rather than doing the same thing over and over and over again, right? Because after 2 times, it's like, was it them or is it you, right? Yeah. You gotta
take accountability.
You gotta start looking at yourself. So I had to do some self-examination to see, maybe I was chasing the title versus the relationship, the actual marriage, right?
Right.
And so I needed to honor my truth in that. Yeah. And that maybe I did that because I was chasing the title versus chasing the love and honoring that marriage.
And I think we as women, you always see what side we on by how we talk about marriage. If we talk about, oh, I can't wait to get married. Every man is the one. Every time we date, we are in spaces and we just, you can always tell. So it does for some handicap you into thinking like it's a rat race to getting this title. But you again have to ask yourself the hard questions. So I get it. I've been asking myself the hard questions. So yeah.
Let's keep it all the way real though.
Yeah, okay.
Here we go.
We know that.
Let's talk about it, because I don't know.
We know that a woman's ultimate flex is to boom. Okay. I'm married.
Okay.
Right? Or post that picture.
Now that social media is a thing.
No, just not even with social media, just growing up just as a girl, right? You tell me, that's you want to get married and have kids. That's so now with social media and stuff, that's the ultimate flex for a woman. Wow, I'm married. You know what I'm saying?
But they not took the fun out of it because I don't want to do that no more. They not took the fun.
So a lot of women are, they're in a rush. They don't really care about love too much. They want to stunt. They want to flex. They want to show their friends they didn't like, they fell out with in high school. Yes, a man chose me, and you're still single. That's the truth that a lot of women don't want to say. They're gonna say, no, it's about the commitment and the higher thing. But a lot of these women, not everyone, a lot of these women, they want to be able to stunt. They want to be able to flex that's the ultimate flex, right? For you tell me, you're a woman.
So basically, Andy came to call the women out tonight. I see what we're doing. Okay.
I'll take accountability for the man too. I'll take accountability for the man too. You know what I'm saying? We ain't all the way right either. So I'll take accountability for the man.
Honestly, what you said, Andy, is the truth, right? I won't deny that. I won't say every woman does that.
No.
But that's the truth. There are a lot of conversations that I've had with other women too that are they even knew they were about to marry the wrong person, but they did it for that. Right?
That's I don't know. That's just mind blowing to me. I'm sorry.
So, I think that, and here's the other part, and I'm going to add a caveat here that really wasn't a part of this. Little girls grow up and get groomed
To be
to
married.
want to marry. Boys do not grow up that way. Girls are groomed to get married.
That's
so
our American dream. To get married and have kids, and the white picket fence with the dog. That's for the women. Mine. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are groomed, like she said. Y'all are groomed that way.
Well,
yeah, and so a lot of times women are fed things that subconsciously, some women don't even want that, right?
Yeah.
I knew after I had my first kid, I was like, I don't want no more kids. Like, I'm good, right? Because maybe sometimes we're being told we want something that we don't even want. And by the time we realize it, we're 35, 40 years old. And we got 3 or 4 kids. We married and unhappy, right? Because the movies show it. The cartoon showed it. We saw it in families. We were told that in magazines. It was plastered everywhere for little girls. Boys was like, make your moves, man. Do your thing.
Get the money. Go get the money. That's it.
So men weren't groomed to get married like that. Whereas women wanted it, and then they got to a point where, and this is to speak on what you said, Andy, they got to a point where this is a flex because everybody's not getting this. It got to a point where everybody's not getting this. So now I got to flex.
Yeah.
So I definitely hear that, and I can see a lot of times, even for me, I can see like when I got married the first time, it wasn't really for a flex, but I had gone so far and I wanted to walk out, and I should have. I allowed what my family and other people would say to affect that decision. And so now understanding that I got to make these decisions for my life, because this is my life. My mama ain't going home and got to sleep with him. My grandmother don't have to go home and sleep with him, but I made a whole decision based on not wanting to disappoint my family.
Yeah.
So this actually goes back to we were speaking earlier this week, babe, about emotional intelligence. A lot of times our emotional intelligence don't come until later on in life. So when we doing this flexing, bam, that just because we want the ring and the status, I'm not gonna get into statistics, but how long does that relationship last? Happily. And while you flexing, who gave you that ring? What's that financial status that you flexing on? Do you need to do a close up on that ring to make it look bigger for the social media?
It's a cubic zirconia.
Yeah. So I'm just saying. So before you flex, just check yourself and just kind of do what you need to do for you to make your marriage sustainable, or let's back that up. Make your relationship sustainable.
Yeah.
No, because we're not always talking about marriage, talking about your relationship, your partner that you choose, your life partner you choose to be with. And before we get any farther, babe,
we got a question.
She already know what I'm going to say. You know you're going to read it too, because I can't read.
So you can't read. Stop saying that. So we got a question from someone on Facebook. How do you make future life decisions if there is no real commitment? For example, is it a good idea to buy a house with someone you're not married to?
Okay, so once again, I think every response with everybody's situation is different.
Yeah.
So in our situation, we're not married, but she knows that I want to marry her. She knows that I want to be with her forever. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we make decisions.
And it's like,
that's how we make big decisions. We know we've been to, all right. So to even like, yeah, when we started, we've been together, what, 9 or 10 years?
Yeah.
But when we started dating, we were just, fooling around. It was just, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't that serious. I wasn't really taking her that serious. She wasn't taking me that serious. And it grew. It grew into what it is now. That doesn't happen over time. So now, to go back to what you were saying before, these people that want to rush the marriage, we took our time, and taking our time, you get to learn each other. You have to learn these people. We've been through so much through this, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, what are you gonna like? You everything is all good in the beginning, but how is your partner when they're broke? How is your partner when a family member is sick? How is, you know what I'm saying? How is their, so
how do they treat your kid? I have a whole son. He doesn't have children. That relationship, how do you guys come together and, you know, discuss finances? We talk, we communicate. I am very vocal about, hey, checking in. What's going on? This is what we got going on. All right, you know, we here.
Long time ago, we made the decision, like, okay, it's just me and you now, right? We done fooling around, right? Okay, like okay, you're my boyfriend, I'm your girlfriend. All right, we did that. We made it Facebook official. You know what I'm saying? So from that point on, that's when you know to make decisions with each other and make, you know, talk about certain stuff. It's all about communication. You know what I mean? So yeah.
At every step. And it's been so many. I know I've changed at least 50 million times. I am not the same person he met 10 years ago, 12 years ago at all. He could tell you I got, you know, more tattoos, more, you know. So it's just over time, I know, and at every phase, this man could have said, I don't gotta deal with this shit. I don't gotta deal with you. I don't gotta grow with you. I'm out. I got no kids. I can be gone.
You have to learn. You have to go. You have to. It takes time. Y'all know. Now, this is something that nobody wants to admit, but we're gonna say. Y'all know when y'all first meet somebody, it's that mask.
Yeah.
Some people keep the mask up longer than others.
Yeah.
Some people take it off after the first week. They feel comfortable. Some people keep that shit up for years until the divorce. You know what I'm saying? When a fight happens, like, yeah, y'all got to go through everything with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, yeah, you know.
You gotta ask them hard questions. You gotta continuously communicate. You gotta check in.
Can I talk about your friends? We had some friends. This might be messy, but we had some friends.
A little messy don't hurt.
No, I know.
A little messy don't hurt.
Yeah, a little messy don't hurt. Just some tea, you know. We had some friends. They met, and it was just the universe just brought them together. The universe brought them together. You couldn't tell them otherwise. They were both spiritual. You know, no offense. You know, all the chakras and the signs, all that. You know, and
they just knew they were
gonna be together. And somebody asked them, like, you know, when are you guys getting married? And they're like, you know, oh, marriage, that's what they say, like, that's human stuff. Like, we're beyond that. Like, we're they said something. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is they rushed into the relationship, and they felt the feelings were so strong. They felt like they were gonna get married and all this. But then guess what? They had to start talking about the kids. She already had 2. He didn't have any. And guess what? That broke them apart. They tried to get back together, didn't work. Broke them apart. So they could have went and got married. But then what happens when you have the conversation with that ring on the finger? Oh, let me get that back. I want babies. Divorce. So what's the point of rushing to get married? You know what I'm saying? I understand it's the status, and we want to, you know, show other women this or that, but
I think we should take the status.
You got to take your time. Learn your partner. Everybody's different. Learn your partner. Have the tough conversations. We have the tough conversations. That's the stuff we talk about. People are like, damn, y'all talk about that? Y'all said that to each other? Like, yes, you have to. You have to. Or else, guess what? Y'all are just gonna fight. Then y'all gonna go in y'all separate rooms, not talk for 3 days and walk past each other. Who wants to do that?
Mhm.
Who wants to do that? Life is too short. Like we got stuff we got to do. We got a passport trying to get
And
stamped.
I also want to add that he is also my friend. We're friends.
That's
Like,
another thing too. Yeah,
we
we
are
were friends first.
We like each other. Like we're not always in love, but that's my friend.
Pandemic,
Like,
we pandemic stuck in the house together.
like
We had fun.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You gotta like your partner.
Yeah, you do. You do.
And this is for the men. Like I'll say this for the women, but men sometimes they marry for the looks, just solely off looks. I got a bad woman on my arm, but guess what? You can't even have a conversation with this woman. Or guess what? She's so ghetto you can't even bring her nowhere because she go and you embarrassed.
But she bad though.
But she bad. She got a fat ass. You love taking her home and knocking her down, but in your head you really sick of her. Like you don't like her. It's like, oh gosh. Or you leave her at home. What about those wives who get left at home because of whatever? Like who wants that? Nobody want to be in no marriage like that. So yeah, man. I know we just spewed a lot out. Sorry.
You're right. I talked about this before. Sometimes what's good for us, we don't always go after. We'll bypass love for looks or lust. So I know it. A lot of us probably did it in our life as men. You know, and I'm at the stage now of, as I learned over the years, in a relationship, there's 2 L's we gotta have: love and logic.
Yeah.
You know, love can't carry us. We gotta lose some logic with it. Now, babe will tell you she's a strong advocate of, like you were saying, hard conversations.
Yeah.
He's a strong advocate. So I wasn't the biggest one or advocate or one to receive them hard conversations. Like, oh shit, I'd be like, damn, can you just go do what you want to do? I'll take care of the rest. But she put that mark on me. That's part of a relationship. That was her strength. Her strength was like, okay, this is what we need to do to make sure we succeed.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna give her flowers on that, and because I'm listening to you, that's confirmation how right she was at the beginning of our stages, as we were going on our journey of a lifelong relationship.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm with you, brother and sister. So keep making them hard conversations and keep, and liking each other and being friends.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because
y'all won't know when we get married. Shit.
You get married when we tell you we married.
Yeah, exactly. Shit.
You didn't get the invite? Oh, my bad. I ain't.
It's gonna be so much of that. It's gonna be.
Oh, she can't wait. She can't wait. She can't wait.
Matter of fact,
She's one of them.
The internet will be the last to know. The party done, everything.
But
done.
when they know, boy, y'all gonna know.
I'm gonna be waiting for that phone call, friend.
You gonna be there?
Yeah.
We have a good time. Sure.
No, wait till one's gonna be in their feelings because they didn't know.
Oh well.
When you go like this, and they gonna get in their feelings. You go like this. I ain't need you anyway. You wasn't my friend.
We had. I'm gonna be messy again. We had one of her friends. This was years ago, maybe 6-7 years ago. We together 10 years now. She told her. This is one of her friends. She told her, God told me that he ain't the one for you.
In my house.
In our house.
Randomly.
We let her stay at our house that night. Just randomly said, you know what? God told me he's not the one for you. This is a single woman saying this. Single woman. Okay? Now, fast forward 5, 6, 7, we're still together. And she's still single. Okay? Now, I asked her, why is God talking to her about you?
Exactly.
And not her. What is God telling you about your man? Where's he at? You worried about her?
Oh, that was
Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm putting the tea back down. I'm putting the tea back down.
Helena.
Ridiculous.
yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
You can't do not
You
listen to
kind
your
of
friends,
warned me.
ladies.
You kind of warned me, but I wasn't ready.
The ladies, do not listen to your friends. Listen to yourself, your gut, and
Yeah.
whoever you know, whatever. Listen to yourself. It's not about your friends. Like you said in the beginning, you got to go home and sleep with that man and be with that man every day. So everybody is different. Everybody's situation is different. Don't let no bad influences in on your life.
Yep.
Good influences, you let them in. You know what I'm saying? People that's gonna tell you the truth. I ain't saying don't let nobody, just tell you anything. People that's gonna hold you accountable, but don't have no negativity, no, none of that.
Keep people out your business.
Yeah.
Say it a little louder. Say it louder.
Yeah, just go to counseling. Just go to the therapist. Talk to the therapist.
Me, I don't even want the therapist in my business.
But go somewhere.
Just
Don't talk to nobody.
Just
you talk to the person you got in that person. Because honestly,
God is the therapist.
Y'all are in it together. Nobody really is gonna understand.
Brother.
No, I'm all for it. I'm all for therapy. Black man need therapy. I'm all for it.
We gonna do some pre-counseling before we ever get married.
Clearly.
Yeah. Listen, baby, before we go, let's talk real quick.
Yes.
Let's get our story straight.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. We tried it once. It was funny. It was so funny.
I wasn't ready to. I'll be an adult. I wasn't ready to receive the therapy at that time. I was there.
I gave him that. He tried it. I'm like, oh, okay, I know how to do him. Okay.
Because at that time, all right, this is another truth we don't want to admit. Well, we admit this. Like we know back in the day, mental health wasn't a thing for Black people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I grew up. I'm Haitian, so like we don't even believe in going to the doctor, sending people to the doctor. They don't even. If you sick, you stay home. If you ain't bleeding, you going to school. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I wasn't really. I'm like therapy. Like you going to therapy to go tell somebody else. Like who are they? They don't know your business. And I just had so many. I had so many opinions about it, but growing older, actually learning about it, her going to therapy, her putting her son in therapy, I'm listening to the things. I'm going with her son to therapy. Well, the therapist was coming to the house. So I'm there in the sessions listening, so I'm like, okay, yeah, like people need people to talk to. You know what I mean? Like me, I talk to myself in my head. Like I'm crazy. I just talk to myself, keep it all bottled in, and one day just spaz on somebody, which is not good. You know what I'm saying? So
he talks to me. I'm his therapist.
Therapy is needed. I've grown into understanding that it's needed for some people.
So definitely, Andy, my man, I'm gonna have you back on with me, my other co-hosts come on in. You gonna be back for another episode?
Yeah.
I'm speaking that in.
Yeah, just let me know the date. I'm there.
Yeah, because you have a lot of things in common. I speak to myself all the time, and in my head, not in the crazy way.
It's okay. We all talk that.
That mask is coming down. See, you're learning.
I already know.
That mask.
I already know.
Yeah.
I know what I get.
So, I understand where you're coming from, If you ain't bleeding, shit. Put some pressure on and take your ass to work. But what we do, as this is Dar, data from the real, and keep it real. One of the things we will do is try to break some of them bad habits that we grew up with. That was examples from previous generations that not always are right. Yeah. We we are a civilization. We evolved. So some of the things that mom and dad and grandma told us, is not applicable anymore. So But yeah, take your ass to work. You ain't reading that bad. Put some alcohol on it.
Yeah, man.
Oh God.
So look, I gotta say this. I got another question, but I want to interject and say this while we got a nice amount of people on the Facebook side, on the Instagram side. I haven't checked out the YouTube side yet, but for those that weren't here early on, I met Helena on TikTok. She has become my TikTok bestie. And I wanted to, just through our conversation, I wanted to invite her and Andy on. And babe, I'm so excited that we got them on here. I mean, they are a great couple with, the conversation has just been so much fun. These are the types of conversations we like having, just real, honest, raw ass conversations, right? That's what they affirm the real is.
Mm-hmm.
And just for those that are watching, even if you don't agree with their perspective on this, I appreciate everyone being respectful of their positioning, and because it's their story, it's their narrative, and so it may also even shift your perspective, and that's what these conversations are about. Also, none of us we are not gurus. Okay, I usually say this at the beginning.
No.
We are not gurus. We are people that come on here that share our own experiences, and we try to just keep it positive. We also try to add in the aspect of healing and evolving so that we are having loving, healthy relationships out here. So, and they do exist. I think the narrative is always that Black people don't have good relationships. Black people don't have positive relationships. They do exist.
No,
We've had other couples on here that are in healthy, positive relationships. We are in a healthy, positive relationship.
And now we got
Helena and Andy. So y'all coming back for sure.
Oh, for sure.
In my St. Louis voice, if for sure.
We can't wait till you do. I'm excited.
So I got two things to say. I got two questions.
Okay.
Well, question and comment. One, where are y'all located? We didn't even get to that.
We in Atlanta, in the ATL, man. Come get some lemon pepper wings, man.
On the 85. And the second thing, I had some stuff to talk about in my notes. We didn't even get to none of it. Just don't worry about it.
We can talk about it though. It don't matter.
This is how it's supposed to go.
Yep.
Let it fly, let it flow, and let it be real.
Yeah.
I love it.
Don said lemon pepper Lou wings. But we're gonna go out to the ATL and visit with them, babe, because
where y'all at?
We in Dallas.
Oh, Dallas.
Okay. I've been to Dallas.
I've never been to Texas. He owes me a Texas trip.
You coming?
I've been to Dallas, Austin, and Houston.
I gotta get to Texas.
Yeah. So my mom, if we go to Atlanta, my mom will be happy because that means I can come. I mean, you can drive down to go see her.
Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That'll be an excuse for me to go home.
We're going to take you to all the dope restaurants, all the good spots to eat. We know all the good spots because it's going to be very tricky. People going to tell you, yeah, just go here, just go there.
Let me tell you something. We found out. Was it last year we went, babe? Or the year before?
I think so.
Either last year or the year before we went. Every place we went to eat.
Garbage.
Gross. Horrible.
It's like finding a damn needle in a haystack. And once you find a restaurant, you just gotta write it down in your Google Maps and hope that they stay open. That's it.
For real.
We riding with y'all next time because I didn't eat one thing good.
No, we know all the good spots. We know whatever you want to eat.
And we'll cook. He'll cook.
Oh yeah.
And we'll eat.
Yeah. We got
you talking that love language now, ain't you?
We got you.
Okay, anybody on the Facebook or Instagram or YouTube side, do you all have any questions for Helena and Andy? Babe, did you have anything you wanted to add?
No, like I said, everything I had, I just threw out the window because these people are great, and it's not because let me back up. So this is my first time meeting them. And you told me the topic. I didn't know what to expect. So I know are they opposed to marriage or how is it going? So I'm like, okay, how am I feeling? But so one thing I do respect about them is they're open minded.
Yeah.
It's about the communication factor, which is always number one. Understanding what's good for A is not good for C. So I appreciate that. 3, they just good people, and I love good people. I can feel the funniness, the fun.
Feel the energy.
We be ready.
Yeah.
It's like coming through. They constantly smiling and
We the fun couple. We're the fun couple.
Babe, when the first time me and Helena talked, so we were on TikTok. Y'all getting ready to hear a little bit of our business. So we on TikTok, and like we just like interacting, commenting back and forth and stuff. So finally, I sent her a message. I was like, girl, you got to be on the podcast, right? When we had our first conversation, immediately I was like, yeah, that's going to be my friend. The energy is such a real thing.
That's real.
It's such a real thing that the energy was, we didn't see each other. We were on the phone and the energy was real. I said, this is a real sister here. Aww. And it was just a dope connection. And yesterday I had a rough day and I kept saying, I don't even really have nobody to talk to about this. And I was able to kind of talk that out with her. She just was loving on me and I really appreciate that.
That's good. That's nice.
So
thank you for being there for her. Thank you for being there.
You know, I gotta be there for my people now.
So she just sent some words of encouragement by video text, but sometimes you just meet people and it's just like that. So we want to thank you, Helena and Andy, for coming on.
Thank you guys.
This was amazing. Thank y'all for keeping it real. This is Data Firm the Real. Y'all kept it 100 with us. And ain't nothing like it.
So
we hope y'all learned something.
We learned a lot. We learned we ain't alone when I'm thinking.
Oh no. We are in the community, so we here.
Make sure everybody out there share this on YouTube, Instagram, whatever. Share Helena, Andy and Helena.
I'm gonna see a little clip of me on Instagram and stuff like the Shade Room song. Listen to him talk about marriage. They gonna plaster me online. Boy, they gonna eat me up, man.
What do we do? We ignore them.
They bet not.
Go ahead and get my Reese Tisa contract. Go get loaded up.
We can't with Andy.
This is my first podcast, by the way.
Yeah, this is our first
podcast.
We don't talk about our relationship a lot because it's our and now we don't shy away from questions.
We're honored.
People just don't ever be ready for what we about to bring.
We're honored.
Yes, we are grateful that you had us. I appreciate you, Kia.
Thank you. It
Mark,
was fun.
so,
I feel like we got a couple now to hang out with when y'all come down. Or when we go out there, we gonna hit y'all. We're gonna do the double date thing because that's important.
Yes,
to have a couple of friends.
Yes.
You can't just have your single friends. They go, oh, why you with your girl?
And
why you with your man?
I'm learning that I need good, healthy couple friends. And we're intentional about it. So again, we here.
Okay, so babe, go ahead.
No, I just say I love it. I don't need to say much.
So I don't see any comments or questions on the Facebook side. I don't see anything on the Instagram side. So we're going to close this thing out with positive vibes by thanking Helena and Andy for joining us. We can't wait to come to the ATL and kick it with y'all. And we can't wait for y'all to come to Dallas and kick it with us.
Keep coming.
Yes.
Data Firm the Real. These are our friends, Andy and Helena.
Yes.
Until next time, y'all.
All right, y'all.
Bye.
I've been loving you the best I can, the best I can.